I went and saw last night, because it's in theaters, the movie about James Randi. I was robbed going and seeing An Honest Liar. It's got one of the highest Rotten Tomatoes ratings, 98% ever. It's got a 7.9 on IMDb, and it was unwatchable. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm here to tell you, all it was clips off YouTube. The first half. The second half was nothing but him and his husband, an illegal alien from Venezuela, and it was all about legalizing the open borders and what a victim he is, living in some mansion with his 40-year younger boyfriend. And I had to sit there and watch it because James Randi has attacked me many times for made-up stuff, and so I wanted to go see it. And what he did was expose a lot of real frauds, you know, preachers that have people with radio transmitters reading into their ears, you know, carnival type stuff. And of course, James Randi is a former carny himself, so it takes one to know one. But then he basically just endorses socialism and liberalism on every front and attacks me. We have a clip of it coming up because I think water fluoridation is bad. I mean, there's 25 Harvard studies that came out 2 years ago. Reuters reported saying it lowers IQ and gives you bone cancer. You've got almost 100% of the scientists of the EPA 2 separate times sending a letter saying take it out. It's hydrofluorosilicic acid. It's incredibly toxic and deadly. But it doesn't matter. He's got a beard. He talks with a lisp. He's the authority. And he gave me the Pegasus Top Award in, you know, Pig That Flies. In 2013, he's like Snopes. He just sits there on the mountain and just says, Alex Jones is a fraud because he sells water filters that supposedly cut out fluoride. That's like saying, Valvoline's a fraud. They supposedly sell oil filters that make your engine run longer. I mean, water fluoridation is the biggest fraud out there, but water filtration is the biggest part of civilization. I mean, you go to any rich person's house, and they've got like a $30,000 in-house filtration system. You go to any fancy restaurant, it's filtered water. I mean, everybody knows about filters. But no, James Randi says I'm a con man because I sell well-known, top-of-the-line, inexpensive fluoride filters that I personally use. I either filter my water or I drink spring water. But it doesn't matter. That's this authoritarian, eugenicist, leftist worldview. That's their sacrament, that they're going to put in the water what they say they are, and you're going to drink it, and because he says it's good. And again, he's gay. He's a gay wizard, basically. And he's got a wizard boyfriend that can barely talk. I mean, it was like watching creepy roadkill or something for 2 hours. And everyone's just bowing and fawning because, oh my gosh, you're gay. Oh, you're so accomplished. Wow, I'm so impressed. I'm so intellectual because I do everything you say because you have big eyebrows and a big gross beard. You can just see him in some leather outfit. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. I barely could eat after watching it. And it was him. He was creepy. When I was getting into seeing that movie about James Randi and all this, in none of the reviews, nowhere did they say it was about. It was like a conspiracy of the so-called left, the authoritarians that run the media, that it was a movie about James Randi exposing frauds. And you go, and it's like the movie The Imitation Game. Really good movie, really interesting story, really admirable man. What happened to him is sad. But half the movie is about him being gay. And they don't tell you that. And it's just like, I'm sick of it. If I want to go see a movie about that, I will. I can't watch cartoons. I can't read the newspaper. My kids are being bombarded with it. I mean, we're being conquered by this. Force-fed it. If I loved it, and folks, I'm neutral, literally neutral. If I loved it, I'd get sick of eating filet mignon 5 times a day. I mean, if it was the best thing since sliced bread, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's just everywhere. And I've got all this important world news, but you'd think America's identity, and people think this worldwide, isn't the bald eagle, isn't George Washington, isn't private property, isn't the Second Amendment, isn't prosperity, isn't you can go there and be free and not have elites and monopolies over you. That's what folks wanted to come here, number one reason. Worldwide, we're known as like Roman decline or something, like a not even gay or lesbian capital. It's more just we don't have rights to not be spied on or be signed on to trillions in foreign debt, or rights to not have poison put in our food and water and have GMO, or rights to be not geo-engineered, or we don't have rights to stop our government warmongering all over the world. And no. We just all can freak out and hate men and say that men are raping everyone all day, and then go gay, 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 lesbian, 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 just everywhere. Cartoons, movies. I mean, I can't watch TV with my kids. It's just everywhere. And my kids go, why is it everywhere, including school, you name it. There's no writing, there's no arithmetic, there's no science, it's all just empty sports icons. That's why I'm sick of them, too. Just every man I know, oh, did you see that game between Wisconsin and Duke? Oh, and I'm just like, oh. It's just the pushing it. I mean, how can a world be built on sexual practices that don't even engage in procreation? Because that's why all creatures on this planet are built around procreation, because that's the main drive to survive. That's what you'd call, I guess in their words, evolution. Well, how do you sabotage that? You make it all obsessed with men and women fighting with each other, the state running children, putting chemicals in the food and water that confuse sexuality on record, and then just making it the new civil right. You don't have a right to prosperity or a future, but you can be accepted if you promote and sell the same sex having sex together. As if the only thing in your life is sexuality. I mean, what must it be like for people out there that are attracted to the same sex who aren't complete lunatics, who don't want to turn their guns in, who want private property, who want to be free? What must it be like to the group that claims they represent you, that they're a bunch of abortion-pushing, eugenics-pushing, family-hating, on average, crazy people? And it's just so par for the course. In fact, I'll cover it now before I get into Hillary and all the big news and the Russian planes intercepting U.S. planes and just over-the-top news and mass kidnappings and murder in Mexico, but nobody cares about that. They have to keep making up fake rape stories and fake swastika stories every day because, everybody knows that the whites are all racist. And everybody knows there's swastikas and burning crosses everywhere, even though none of them are real. Church burnings, all fake. It's just a total distraction from reality. James Randis, probably the most famous living magician out there, who people tell me all the time attacks me. So I see this movie's coming out, and I search his name, Alex Jones, find all these videos of him attacking me. Only have time to watch a couple. And it's this sniveling, conceited know-it-all. Oh, well, Mr. Jones wins the contest for actor or for entertainer or for whatever he says. I'll play the clip. He says and sells water filters claiming they cut out fluoride. Just every word he says is a lie. I don't claim it cuts out the fluoride. We got the test. It's what it does. And then as if it's bad to cut out fluoride and all these other chemicals in the water. You're crazy if you don't filter your water. That is just so well known. It's like saying, he claims the sun came up. Really? Prove it to me, Alex. And he sells, making a bunch of claims, unproven supplements. Oh, unproven. Oh, we're so horrible to sell a digestible, high-quality iodine. There's just legions of studies how good it is for you. Or a vitamin D3 that's truly organic. Or a vitamin B12 that's methylcobalamin, the same type you inject. I mean, I go to a medical doctor, okay? And I take injectable vitamin B12. I guess my medical doctor's bad too? Because you're the amazing Randy, a big beard. You expose people that bend spoons. Oh, I'm not bending spoons, jackass. You and George Soros and Snopes can sit up there all day and go, these crazy right-wingers think there's a world government forming. They think the NSA's spying on them. I'm the amazing Randy. I look back and found stuff he said 10 years ago that Jones thinks they're spying on the public. Ridiculous. I'm the amazing Randy. And then you go watch the movie and it's all him and his boyfriend. I mean, it's just like, what? What? Everyone's like, oh. It's like you've gone on a Mars mission, or you discovered the God gene, or you saved humanity, or you crossed the Bering Strait. Oh, my gosh, you're so accomplished. Wow. Wow, you sleep with a guy. Whoa, so shocking. We can't handle it. Let's go ahead and play this clip. I mean, they make movies about people like this now. Here it is.
And in the performer category, Alex Jones, he's pushing dozens of pseudoscientific alternative therapies, such as water filters that's supposed to remove poisonous fluoride and various unproven herbal remedies.
He can't even
He's
talk.
He's one of the spearheads of the 9/11 truther movement, which has no truth in it whatsoever.
Wow.
So, Alex Jones, congratulations.
There's no truth in 9/11 truth. I said, and we have him coming on the show next week, the former head of the U.S. Embassy, Springman, that they were ordered to let Muhammad Atta and others in. He said no. So the CIA came in and said, national security, he works for us. And we said the attacks were run out of Saudi Arabia, and that was in the 9/11 report suppressed. Guess what? Head of the commission came out. Senator Graham, guess what? I've had congressmen on. That was there. I'm right. You're wrong. You're wrong, scum. You're wrong. You're an authoritarian, dirtbag, charlatan, con man. You understand? I'm real.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.
Putting bookends on the whole gay agenda, gay assault, homosexual assault, whatever you want to call it. It's about controlling words. It's about dominating. It's about bullying. And it's about selling an entire totalitarian agenda billed as leftist on the back of, quote, being accepting and tolerant. It's about guilting the public into submitting to Obamacare and open borders and all the rest of it. And I go see a movie, and basically almost the whole thing is about how poor gay people have been persecuted and how illegal immigrants have as well, and it's okay they're involved in identity fraud, and the boyfriend steals identities and doesn't get in trouble. I mean, it's just, I couldn't believe it. And it's movie after movie now. It's like anything I go see, they don't tell you, and it's a huge lecturing against the family, against guns, against sovereignty. Or I go see a movie and there's a bad guy that's got my name, and I go see another movie and there's a bad guy that's got my name, and then I go see another and they go, I'm a racist that hates blacks and Jews and everybody else because I'm because I follow Alex Jones. That was the David Cross movie just came out. I mean, it's just like, it's a full-on assault, and it was so crystallized in my mind when I left the movie theater last night, and in 20 minutes talking about this, I haven't articulated, I think, in the totality of why I'm so upset. The world is in major crisis. Genetic engineering is already mutating plants, animals, bacteria, you name it. The Earth's ecosystem is collapsing. And it's why I get so upset when they obsess over carbon dioxide so they can tax it and regulate it and control all development to centralize control, when they ignore the thousands of real things that need to be done right now. The globalists are destroying the world, throwing gas on the fire while lecturing everyone about giving them total control to fix it. And in almost every case, they are the full authors of what's happening. That's what's crazy when you really study this. And it's the same thing with this whole, quote, gay agenda. I open up the newspaper locally, or I turn on television, the news. I come and read stacks of news every day, and I mean, there'll be 15 articles about tax day, extra difficult for many same-sex married couples. Associated Press. And it's like, fine, I'm sure it is tough. The point is, this is not the only issue in the world. I've got a stack of news here with new fake rape allegations in campuses. And it's just almost every time it turns out it's totally fake. The lacrosse thing years ago, the stuff that Rolling Stone's getting sued over, admitting they just made it up, cross burnings on a weekly basis, swastikas on a weekly basis, and it always comes out months later that it's done to make the group look like victims. I mean, there's hardly anyone burning crosses or putting up swastikas. I mean, give me a break. What, in a few spots in East Texas? Maybe in a few towns in Alabama? But see, we're all just so afraid of this boogeyman that all the real problems are going forward. I mean, our government's trying to start war with Russia. Our government's funding Al-Qaeda, now known as ISIS. I have a stack of news on that I'm going to get to, that are just blowing up churches, kidnapping and grabbing children, forcing women into sex slavery, from Central Africa all the way to Pakistan. And our government is backing them. And then when they got caught 2 years ago backing them, they just changed the name and then now go, oh, they're rampaging. No one can stop them. And the Iraqi president comes out 3 times and goes, we have caught the NATO forces arming ISIS. This is all staged. I mean, I'm worried about that, folks. I'm worried about an elite that would put salmon in the ocean that are now in the ocean that major university studies show will extinct all the natural salmon. They're 3 times larger. They've got insect genes in them. They've got all sorts of weird, unnatural proteins. You wonder why we're all getting cancer, why the allergies are increasing. I mean, within 20 years, folks, it's going to be crazy town. You're going to need all the advanced technologies just to stay alive. See, we won't get all the advanced technologies to live longer. It'll be just to keep us alive. You're going to have 3-parent embryos soon, because there isn't going to be anyone with sperm that works. Talk about children of men. It's already here. And then you pull back and you realize it's all an engineered plan, and you go, oh, my God, there's no way these people are human. When you really get to the bottom of the rabbit hole, and I'm not saying they're space aliens, but, man, when you really get to the bottom of the global elite and what they're doing, it's just a sick joke. I could care less what someone's sexual preference is. And I'm not saying that to, like, I'm guilted and I'm here, saying that to try to get you to believe me if you're a liberal. It's just I am not obsessed with bodily functions and sex. And I realize it's a psychic warfare thing to screw our kids up. Children shouldn't be sexualized about anything sexual. I don't care if it's heterosexual or what it is. And I mean, I've got all these articles about white privilege in colleges and how they're teaching them to get your degree, that being white is bad and what you need to do to not be evil. As if that's the only issue in the world, to get everybody infighting with each other. And then meanwhile, Mexico murders, new arrest and slayings of 43 Guerrero college students. In 2014, they protested the mayor. And so they were kidnapped, tortured, and then incinerated. And I mean, I've got scores of stories like that today. And no one cares about young people being incinerated. But I guarantee you, if some gay person got punched in the nose down there, it'd be international news right now. And Anderson Cooper would be helping, pat him on the back and just all the rest of it. Anderson Cooper of the Central Intelligence Agency, who leaked all those photos of his boyfriend hanging out and kissing other guys. It's like Hollywood folks releasing fake sex tapes, trying to make himself a celebrity. Nowadays, to become famous, you just release a photo of your boyfriend, all photoshopped, shot like it was the cover of Time magazine professionally. I knew it was fake when it came out. Then they admitted it was fake. Kissing his boyfriend. Now an accomplishment is your boyfriend kissing someone, another man, and then that's big news. What a failed, fallen society. I mean, if it was heterosexuals running around grandstanding like this. Here's a heterosexual newscaster whose wife got caught kissing another man. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it's crazy. Speaking of winners and losers, most people don't know who he is, but a lot of folks might. James Randi of the Randi Foundation has a new movie out. I went and saw it last night. I talked about it in the first hour. I mean, nothing against a love story about a creepy old man and another guy. It's not that they're gay that I'm against them. It's just they're really disgusting. I mean, I can't think of two more unattractive men, quite frankly. And it just went on and on and on. And I talked about the whole gay agenda tyranny pushing it. That was even Elton John, you know, got paid to be at Rush Limbaugh's wedding. I like Elton John music. Sounds like something good for a wedding. I would hire somebody whether they were gay or straight. And everybody criticized Limbaugh, who doesn't even really harp on that subject, just like I don't. But even I so even less. And then Elton John got attacked and like almost boycotted. And he said, "Boy, I do see what Rush Limbaugh's talking about now. You people are a bunch of totalitarians." Exactly. A bunch of control freaks. And this guy comes out and attacks me and gives me a Scam Artist Award, a Pegasus Award, and attacks me just all over the place. I never really paid attention to it because I was going to see a movie about him. I did about an hour of research. And the stuff he says about me, Alex Jones. Now, let's talk about a bunch of con men. The first one is an entertainer, a showman. Alex Jones wins the main Con Artist Award. I played it last hour. Because he claims he's got an alternative medical treatment called water filters. It'd be like, he's got a thing he claims, an alternative medical treatment like brushing your teeth, you know. He acts like mowing your lawn. It's really weird. Or putting your shoes on in the morning. Whoa, he's discredited. I didn't say it was an alternative therapy. We sell a whole spectrum of high-quality water filters that cut out the pesticides, the glyphosates. We have the studies from the big, major, top firms, 3 of them, that do the water testing. All of our nutraceutical stuff is tested as well. In fact, we can't believe it. We have the biggest labs in the world, and they say we've never seen anybody do 3 tests in a row that beat California standards on all of our major products. California has standards so high no one can follow it. Lawyers had it written that way where, you know, there's like, you know, 1 part per billion of lead you can't sell in California. You have to list it. We keep getting these tests from top firms back with, you know, electron microscopes and all these spectrometers, and they're like, you got angels or something in there, you know, over this. We just keep saying nothing, 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 nothing. I mean, we have the cleanest nutraceuticals supplements that we've ever seen because we shot for a level of neurotic control knowing we'd be a target. And we've got those published at InfoWarsLife.com. You want to go see the studies and the tests. In fact, we got new ones in, and I keep telling the guys, make sure they post it tomorrow. We've got the side-by-side test, the comparisons, the competitors with the G2 Pro Pures, the Clearly Filters, and others. They annihilate the competition. They either remove it all or cut it down to non-detectable levels, and then they have some expert get up and say, he claims he has alternative medical treatments with filters, and he claims it cuts out fluoride. Fluoride. As if it's not in thousands of publications, thousands of studies. Just a week ago, London Telegraph, the government says fluoride makes you obese, depresses, and gives you cancer. It's confirmed. But an old man with big eyebrows going, nah, nah, nah. I have a Venezuelan sits on my lap. Nah, nah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, you can tell us, you know, magically where to divine everything. So there are some of the tests on the website. You can see Envirotech Laboratories, all of them. So according to these guys, I guess just go drink glyphosate-filled wells or whatever. And if that doesn't grow your breast cancer, nothing will. If that doesn't give you prostate cancer, nothing will. Anyways, I meant to go into a plug. I want to do a rant. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. We have high-quality products there, and it funds the operation. I didn't mean to go off into a jag, probably spending 15 minutes total of the 2 hours today talking about James Randis and the Honest Liar movie that's out in theaters that I went and saw. It's just that he doesn't just attack me in that same video where he says I'm a charlatan because I say filter your water. I mean, give me a break. It's like, go to Africa and drink out of a swamp. He says water filtration exists. I mean, it's all about how they control reality, like Snopes. Like, because they expose a fraudulent preacher or a fraudulent psychic, then water filtration isn't real. Or you've got a medical doctor like Dr. Oz who does a lot of really good work. He's one of the best people on mainstream TV to tell the truth about, you know, well, vaccines do actually have reactions. That's on the insert. So the people that have questions about it and problems, I mean, I think they are reasonable. You horrible person, you should be banned from TV. Governor Christie came out and said that. How dare you say there's any problems? There's never been a problem. What? They have a multi-billion-dollar-a-year secret payout fund in the vaccine damage fund. That is, the court is secret. The details are secret, but it's admitted. There's never been one problem from a vaccine. I'm James Randis. Dr. Oz, Infowars.com, slams glyphosate, Monsanto, and regulators, allowing its release. Monsanto declined to participate. I mean, they've got so many studies that this grows tumors, it'll just blow your mind. And then they go on and attack him because he came out and said that. And it's the same guy attacking him. There's no science that glyphosate has a problem. I have a big beard and a man sitting on my lap. No one can say no to that. Is that the answer for me to break through to folks and get them off fluoride and open borders and just have a like James Randis, a guy from Venezuela, just sitting on my lap? And then it's all fixed. See, they're like, oh, he has a 200 IQ. He's gay.
We'll find a small South American half your age.
We need to find a small South American half my age. I guess they'd be 20. Randy's like 85, and he has like we put him right here on my knee. Or maybe just a ventriloquist dummy. I'll say I'm married to a gay friend, and it'll just sit there and go, you're amazing. You're amazing. That's the whole movie. You're amazing, Randy. You're amazing, Randy. I remember whenever they had Media Matters calling me up and they wanted to talk to me, so I talked to the head editor. And I go, you were funded by George Soros, $3 million last year. And he goes, no, you weren't. And I went, I'm on the Federal Elections Commission link right here. And they went, well, Alex, yeah. I was just like, see, I'm supposed to be this idiot that just like everyone else. Oh, you're not involved with Soros? Oh, okay. He didn't found you with the White House? All right. Thank you for telling me. Because you say what reality is, right? Oh, I forgot. I'm going to throw up. My name is Alex Jones. Most of you know me from my syndicated radio program and my documentary films, as well as InfoWars Nightly News. When I got on air 20 years ago, I had discovered the globalist program, their plan to take over the world and install a corporate fascist state. I had read their own books, discovered their own documents, and my focus went from running 6 miles every other day, swimming 2-3 miles a couple times a week, and lifting weights to focusing on fighting the globalist. I transformed my body from the beautiful gift that God gave me into something more akin to Jabba the Hutt. It became an internet joke. But now I've started the transformation back to getting my body, my temple in shape. And I'm about to tell you how I did it. I've gone from 279 pounds all the way down to 235 pounds, and the weight's going off even faster. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw incredible results in just a few weeks. The problem was, though, I'd never been a vitamin and mineral and supplement taker before, so I kept forgetting to do it. So after I'd lost over 60 pounds, just a month and a half ago, I asked the crew to take a photo of me in the same lighting to see what I could do in just a month and a half. This is what happened in just 45 days. We took this photo back there in the back office, and I'd already lost a lot of weight, but I lost another 6 pounds with the Oxy powder and the other products at InfoWarsLife.com, and this photo was just taken a few days ago. And it wasn't just that my weight loss accelerated. My muscle mass increased. My stamina, my energy levels exploded. Super Male has the key concentrated natural compounds that my body needed to go to the next level. Today is the day to take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge and to secure your bottle of Super Male or Super Female Vitality. We've got to get our temple straight before we can go out and fight the globalist, and that's what these products have helped me do. Check them out today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call. They can answer all your questions or tell you about any of the specials at 888-253-3139. I went and saw last night, because it's in theaters, the movie about James Randis. I was robbed going and seeing An Honest Liar. It's got one of the highest Rotten Tomatoes ratings, 98% ever. It's got a 7.9 on IMDb, and it was unwatchable. I'm a documentary filmmaker. I'm here to tell you, all it was clips off YouTube, the first half. The second half was nothing but him and his husband, an illegal alien from Venezuela, and it was all about legalizing the open borders and what a victim he is living in some mansion with his 40-year younger boyfriend. And I had to sit there and watch it because James Randis has attacked me many times for made-up stuff. And so I wanted to go see it. And what he did was expose a lot of real frauds. You know, preachers that have people with radio transmitters reading into their ears. You know, carnival-type stuff. And, of course, James Randis is a former carny himself. So it takes one to know one. But then he basically just endorses socialism and liberalism on every front and attacks me. We have a clip of it coming up because I think water fluoridation is bad. I mean, there's 25 Harvard studies that came out 2 years ago. Reuters reported saying it lowers IQ and gives you bone cancer. You've got almost 100% of the scientists of the EPA 2 separate times sending a letter saying take it out. It's hydrofluorosilicic acid. It's incredibly toxic and deadly. But it doesn't matter. He's got a beard. He talks with a lisp. He's the authority. And he gave me the Pegasus Top Award in, Pig That Flies in 2013. He's like Snopes. It's Randy exposing frauds. And you go, and it's like the movie The Imitation Game. Really good movie, really interesting story, really admirable man. What happened to him is sad. But half the movie is about him being gay. And they don't tell you that. And it's just like, I'm sick of it. If I want to go see a movie about that, I will. I can't watch cartoons. I can't read the newspaper. My kids are being bombarded with it. I mean, we're being conquered by this. Force-fed it. If I loved it, and folks, I'm neutral, literally neutral. If I loved it, I'd get sick of eating filet mignon 5 times a day. I mean, if it was the best thing since sliced bread, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's just everywhere. And I've got all this important world news, but you'd think America's identity, and people think this worldwide, isn't the bald eagle, isn't George Washington, isn't private property, isn't the Second Amendment, isn't prosperity, isn't you can go there and be free and not have he just sits there on the mountain and just says, Alex Jones is a fraud because he sells water filters that supposedly cut out fluoride. That's like saying, Valvoline's a fraud. They supposedly sell oil filters that make your engine run longer. I mean, water fluoridation's the biggest fraud out there, but water filtration is the biggest part of civilization. I mean, you go to any rich person's house, and they've got like a $30,000 in-house filtration system. You go to any fancy restaurant, it's filtered water. I mean, everybody knows about filters. But no, James Randis says I'm a con man because I sell well-known, top-of-the-line, inexpensive fluoride filters that I personally use. I either filter my water or I drink spring water. But it doesn't matter. That's this authoritarian, eugenicist, leftist worldview. That's their sacrament, that they're going to put in the water what they say they are, and you're going to drink it, and because he says it's good. And again, he's gay. He's a gay wizard, basically. And he's got a wizard boyfriend that can barely talk. I mean, it was like watching creepy roadkill or something for 2 hours. And everyone just bowing and fawning because, oh my gosh, you're gay. Oh, you're so accomplished. Wow, I'm so impressed. I'm so intellectual because I do everything you say because you have big eyebrows and a big gross beard. You can just see him in some leather outfit. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. I barely could eat after watching it. And it was him. He was creepy. When I was getting into seeing that movie about James Randis and all this, in none of the reviews, nowhere did they say it was about. It was like a conspiracy of the so-called left, the authoritarians that run the media, that it was a movie about James